It'll come to me at some point. I'll figure it out. As I boot up my computer to try to put on the thumbnail. We are live. Welcome to. You know what? Your laugh is not funny. That's all I'm gonna say. Wow. Did you really just give me a wow?
I did just give you a wow.
You know what? I don't know. You're a good guy, you know that? You're just
I
a
know, yeah.
you're
I'm a
just
great
a
guy.
you're just a guy, you know? just just give us a moment, guys. I'm just trying to set up the thumbnail at the moment, but you guys can chill or you guys can load up with questions now, Panda. That we could potentially answer. It can be directed toward either one of us. I am just setting up the thumbnail for the stream, and then I'll get into the official intro. But for now, you can dork around. You can torture um, the knight here, the man, the myth, the legend.
That's a big word.
What big word?
Torture. That's like, whoa.
You look like. Oh yeah, it is. You look like torture.
Damn.
Wow, you're even in the chat. That's pretty messed up. That's pretty criminal.
Yeah.
You're not allowed in the chat. Get out
Oh,
of here.
okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, yeah. We can't have you policing it. It's illegal in 7 states. Yeah, yeah,
7 states. Okay.
yeah.
What about the
You're
other
as
4 states?
illegal as Leafy. Yeah. Oh crap, we're about to get
Ooh.
banned. Because he's bad. Leafy, you're a cool guy. You just need to calm
Yeah.
down sometimes. You just go
It's
for
just a
people's
little.
souls, and I don't know why.
Oh.
All right. Anyways, we should have the thumbnail, and if we don't, slip my wrist.
I'd rather
Only on
not.
Tuesdays. All right, and we are good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sequel of the Mad Army podcast. We decided to change up the venue, the theme, of course, and we decided to go here on Share Factory. So, shout out to Share Factory, you know, the place where I have been making what's called Titanfall 2's series. I can't even
Yeah.
remember the name anymore. Ah, there it is, Project Chronos. Yeah, took me a whole minute. That's in the works right now. I'm still editing the video, but nonetheless, that is in the works. I'm also over halfway through episode 4 on the What If series. So that's in the work. I pretty much have all the footage. I even recorded the Money in the Bank match that I was going to do. I think it was decent at best. It ended on a signature, which is fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. All right. So, do we want to start off with us? You know, the important people. Oh, whoa. Let me backtrack here. Let me backtrack. I would have done full
Alright.
screen, everybody, but it blocks the screen because apparently
Yeah.
it's illegal. So that's why it
It's
looks like
illegal.
this. You're illegal. But anyways, you have this is specifically catered toward my universe mode that I've done for 3.5 years. That it was resolved months ago, and we really wanted to do this months ago, and we're finally here. We have the time for it. But I want to please welcome to the stream Alex the Knight, aka the man, the myth, the legend, the all-star of NXT, the man behind that all-star, the man, the creator of Kevin Draco.
What up?
Yeah, let me sound cool.
Yo, I'm cool for a minute.
Yeah, too bad you
One
didn't
third of the
sound cool at
clock.
all.
Oh, damn, man.
All right. So, do you want to start off with questions or? Two of the Pop Tart boys are here, and the other one is excommunicado. We're not going to talk about that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he abandoned us.
The important Pump Tart boys are here.
Let me know if you guys can hear Alex or not. That'd be appreciated. But Alex,
Yeah.
do you want to lead off?
I guess I could. I guess I could.
Yeah.
I am the guest after
You can
all.
repeat questions that our previous guest had.
Alright, we can hear us? Alright, good. First question. All right, let's start this off with, we're talking about the whole universe mode. So, we have the season 8. Have plans changed from what you originally wanted? Like, if you were to have a live stream series, are plans different than what you're doing with it now?
Oh, so you mean would plans have changed if I was live
Yeah.
streaming season 8?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's actually a really good question. Well, of course, one thing that always changed was the human error factor. So, in this What If series, I'm able to just write it all out without the idea that I can lose because I
Mm-hmm.
can't with how I'm doing it. Whereas on a live stream, it can happen. So with the live stream, I always had to come up with a backup plan. So plan B when matches fail. So I typically didn't write so far ahead, only because I knew that something could happen, something could go wrong. For example, in season 7, Adam Cole, during his WWE title reign, lost the belt to Seth Rollins on SmackDown,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not planned. That was not supposed to happen. Cole was supposed to retain it all the way through to Money in the Bank, and he dropped the belt, which was on me. So it's one of those things where I had to adapt and overcome and change how I was writing to accommodate that. So I would say that it's slightly altered, or it's slightly different only because I haven't written a backup plan because there's no human error, and you never know how things would turn out when things go wrong. Um,
True.
but as far as how the ideas come up, this is pretty much how it's going. You've been in one or two of the conversations with the ideas that I'm drumming up for this little What If series, um, and it's a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
It makes me wish I was still streaming, but at the same time, it's nice
Yeah.
to share my ideas on what I had, and I even pitched the ideas to you guys to hear me out. So
Sure.
yeah, I guess that's a very long-winded answer, but an answer nonetheless. As for you, I don't want to make this
Yeah.
all about you, but you are the guest, and I wanted to ask you true or false.
All right. All right. True or false? True or false?
You and I originally had Alex, your character, Kevin Draco,
Mm-hmm.
come in as a heel.
That's a true.
Yeah, that is true. We agreed on it, and then that backfired
And
in our
then
faces.
that totally did not happen.
It did not, because turns out that submission hold on Kurt Angle lasted a while. My second question,
Yeah.
though, a more serious one. Um, what would you say was your favorite part of creating Kevin Draco?
Favorite part of. I
Of
have
course,
to go with.
Panda, if you have any questions, you can load up.
I probably go with because I was early into my creating people. I wasn't that good. Tires aren't the best,
They
so I
still
really
aren't.
wouldn't say the attire. Oh well, yeah, damn. Okay. The attire obviously adapted, but I have to say probably the idea behind the character, like wanting. Well, the idea I originally had, but then that quickly crumbled. But into the idea that we made him with this underdog and the neck injuries, that was pretty fun.
Oh, that was my favorite part. You being on the sideline.
Yeah,
I didn't have to write for you. But at the same time, I think that helped because it's shocking to believe that Kevin Draco's been around since season 2 to me.
yeah,
Because he's been around for so long, but he's had those 2 long-term injuries that it almost gives off the impression that he's still young in
yeah,
terms of his
definitely.
career, which is good. There's longevity to it, and there can still be title reigns in the future for you if I ever kept
Sure.
it going.
Yeah.
Your turn, I believe.
My turn, my turn. Alright, alright.
Yeah.
So, for my second question, I'd have to probably ask with. Alright, alright. We know.
Ooh, want to talk about that one? That's
I
a heck
rather
of a
not.
question.
So we know that we've had some great, great tag trilogies in universe mode,
Trologies.
but you know what I mean?
Tra la la
Three
la
match
la la
series.
la la la.
Were those planned to go for three matches every time, or did you just see how well it was and was like, we can use this?
Which trilogies?
Like DIY, no DIS. I mean,
Oh,
and
DIS versus Hitmen, like the sequel
yeah,
match at the Rumble. There was also the Holy Trinity, the quote unquote Holy Trinity. I should put that in quotations before people are like, "It's not the Holy Trinity." Yeah, yes, we know, we know. We're just
yeah.
we call it that. With DIY and the Hitmen in season 3, the
Mm,
Hitmen versus DIY, that was more of an impromptu. I wanted to see. I knew it was a high profile match going into the first bout because DIY had such great matches with American Alpha and the OC, Gallows and Anderson, to win the
yeah.
belts. So I wanted to see how well they would pair. So I put them as the semi-main event. I think the main event was Braun versus Punk, if I remember that correctly. But anyways, the matches have their own issues um, in their own right. But from a technical standpoint, like one of them had like 3 parts because the stream was bugging out. But one of the big things was that it worked within its environment. So the first fight I enjoyed so much that I felt that okay, it only makes sense that they would have a second match because
Hmm.
DIY has the rematch clause. So we do that, and then the second fight was still really good. So then I was like, okay, I don't want to do it 3 pay-per-views in a row. DIY's lost twice. It only stands to reason that we hold off. So I threw the revival in there, and then I was like, I want to do a different stipulation, like different every time, and challenge myself and really see like, can this like really work? And I wouldn't say I was bold enough, but I really try to steer away from the ladder match type fights only because I know that I'm not great at making legendary matches with it.
Hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? Why the hell not TLC match? And then lo
Yeah.
and behold, it was actually a really fun, entertaining TLC match, tag team.
Yeah. I
But as
was.
far as like DIS, that was an impromptu rematch only because we did it at TLC season 4, and it was so good that I was like, I cannot say no to doing this again. I struck gold again.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as tag teams, a lot of the ones that work are kind of surprising to me. So sometimes I'll try to weave a story behind it, depending on how good the matches are, or give it a second try to see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Try to challenge myself with those. That's actually a pretty good question. I was not expecting that. But we'll go over to Panda because he asked a question, and it's a very tough one. It's a very, very hard one. It's borderline impossible for you to answer it correctly. Yeah, yeah, you weren't ready. Crap, where is it? I cannot
I think
find
I found it.
it. I had this whole thing lined up. Oh, favorite. What was your favorite universe moment?
There's a lot.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's a lot
Kevin
of
Draco
things.
winning the world title.
Who's
Kevin Draco
it
beating Matt
going
King.
to?
All right, let's do it. Like, what
Alright.
was your? We'll do two. So, what was your favorite Kevin Draco moment, and what was your favorite universe moment excluding Kevin Draco?
Okay. Alright.
That
So,
might help simplify it.
let's talk about me first, because,
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
really? Oh, wow.
um, there's a couple. Kurt Angle, the first ever match with Kurt Angle is pretty high up there because I feel like that's what really propelled Draco to a higher level.
It's
But
Draco. I've been saying it wrong my
Draco,
whole
no,
life.
it's Draco. I don't know why I said that. It's Draco.
Count
Um,
Dracula. New gimmick.
but if I had to pick, would probably be SummerSlam against Harvey because that was like, he wins the belt and then he gets screwed over, and I think that like the Angle moment propelled him into this kid's got it, and that was like he's on a whole nother level.
Hmm. But I
Mhm.
would say at the same time, I love how you just picked the moment that like splits hairs between me and Harvey.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, the whole
As
argument
a
of if he's
casual
ready or
fan.
not. He's not ready. I believe he is. I'm not gonna drop a belt to him. Well, you're fired. I don't remember the whole conversation. I'm summarizing so much on how that whole conversation
Oh
went. That
yeah,
was intense. That was a
I remember
that was
that.
a lot of arguing. I think Stone Cold was there too. That you cut that whole conversation with like a razor's knife. That was really an intense argument on if he was ready or not. Um,
Um,
but that was the first half. What was your moment excluding Kevin Draco?
yeah. Excluding Kevin. Hmm. See, there's a lot of big moments, like for instance, Metallica win the Rumble. That was pretty big.
Was
That
it?
whole Rumble as a whole was a
I
great
know. I
Rumble.
love that Rumble. That was awesome. I think that was my favorite Rumble because there was just the right amount. It was like it's like a perfectly seasoned steak with the
Yeah.
right amount of nostalgia. I like fun moments. Didn't detract from anything, except for Tyler being overpowered. But it's probably the only thing.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that one.
We don't have to. We don't have to.
No, that's good. That's great. You still haven't answered the question. Answer the question. Come on.
Well, I think probably that Rumble. Yeah. I think that's one of my favorites.
Wow.
This the
Because you weren't in it,
nostalgia.
right?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
were you in it?
I don't remember.
I know that you didn't win it.
Oh well. Yeah.
To answer the question for myself, I'm gonna selfishly say, gosh, there's a lot that I really
Yeah.
loved. There's matches that I straight up enjoyed, of myself, and I'm talking about the Matt King character. I'm not talking about all my other creations, but I loved putting over guys. From fighting The Rock, from fighting Seth Rollins and doing the pop up, the curb stomp counter into the RKO in season two. I loved losing and putting over to Class Part. It's really weird. Like I loved the
Yeah.
legendary matches where I lost the most because it just feels like so. I don't know. Like I just loved having the high profile matches where I lost and made the other guys look better, like coming out of it. I loved fighting James Arlington at WrestleMania Season 6. I think that was my favorite match on the card. I really loved Matt King, like the whole trilogy with myself and Class Bar. I loved fighting
Oh
you the
yeah.
first time. I wish the second one was better. I felt really bad about that one.
Nah.
Uh,
It was good.
I wish I fought Sante. But sorry, I'm getting off track. But my favorite moment for myself, selfishly, is myself versus Colt, the main event of season 5, WrestleMania. I
Yeah.
can't. That was such a
That's great.
redemption moment for me. I feel like I was selfishly putting myself in the main event, but I like Colt or Stone Cold wanted to fight me, so I agreed to it, and I wanted to up the stakes and put my career on the line. And career versus title, I felt like it couldn't get any better. And of course,
Yeah.
I wrote in afterwards that Scott would cash in on me because I really felt like if I'm gonna have this moment, I gotta make somebody else look great. So that was kind of my belief. Like I had this moment, like all of you guys take a big sigh of relief that my career survived. And I already told Harvey, I think on the previous podcast, like I was that was the closest I ever came to straight up retiring and ending the series. Like I really, really, before the show, I was going in with the mindset that I was putting over Cole and retiring right then and there. I think I made the decision mid-match to go in for myself. As far as moments in general, gosh, there's a lot, like you said, and I've commentated all 2,200 and some odd matches. I did the math today, by the way.
Really?
It's like a rough estimate of over 2,250 matches in the universe mode. I think if I had that math correctly. So I've called that many, and I would say that as far as moments go, I'll never have more hair-raising moment than there's a few hair-raising moments, but goosebump moments. Mr. Samuel Harvey comes to mind, but the number one thing for me was Arlington hitting that fall from grace one last time on Armstrong, and just at WrestleMania, and it felt like, I don't know if I had any of you guys, but for me, it felt like I had everything within the palm of my hand. Like Arlington just countered, rolled to his feet, hit that one last one, planted it, and everyone, I was just imagining everyone on the edge of their seats, like looking at it, like what's going to happen. 1, 2, kick out, and then people are just like, no way, the streak's still alive. So for me, like, it just was such a goosebump moment where the match was so good and I was in it so much, like into it that much, and then I hit the down arrow trick to kick out, and it just felt like that was the moment.
Yeah.
Such a fun WrestleMania for me. Season 5. That was
great, yeah.
So exciting. But to go on to the next question, because we had a second one, and I want to answer Blake's, not the Blake, this newer guy. He asked a question: why did you quit at season 7? That's a really good question. So, one interesting thing is if you measure the statistics of Universe Mode, or my channel, it is very obvious I peaked back in 2016. I really peaked back in 2016. Like, it's not disputed. And that's because I didn't really clickbait the title, because if you read the full title, it's pretty obvious that I put Universe Mode in the title if you just looked and read it. So I put that in there because I knew people would say, it's clickbait. It's like, well, I put it in caps, like quotations, right there, smack on the tab. It's Universe Mode. And it got like 20, I think it's almost at 30,000 views right now. It still racks up views, like a crap ton. That first Matt King My Career video. So I really peaked back then, and I knew, and what killed me the first time was going to PS4. That was the big deal breaker for everybody. And then what's even funnier to me is if you watch all the seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you don't have to. It's a big load, like, to sit through all that. But to me, I watch the steady like incline of the quality of videos, and in terms of like storytelling and narratives to make you care about the matches and the characters. Season 5 was a bit of a dip in terms of the overall story, but picked back up. 4 was there was like seasons that were up and down in terms of the quality, but it would like gradually increase, and then season 7 I went full out with the story. And for me, Universe Mode peaked, not in terms of viewership. I'm talking about like the overall, like where everybody was so invested into it, was really season 5, WrestleMania. Like, it kind of felt like after Matt King preserved his career, it just started, like, I could feel the decline of season 6, in contrast to season 5. And then I made the decision, like, okay, and plus, another thing was, my original concept was I was only going to do 4 seasons, which is 2 years of my life. But just to put this in perspective for people, one season is half a year. That's how I scheduled it. So 2 seasons was a full year through one game. So I got through season 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I had a lot of people requesting that I do a 5th season. So I said, fine, I'll do a 6th or a 5th. And I was like, that's where it goes to the story of my match at WrestleMania Season 5, where I was teetering between ending my career. And ultimately, I stuck with it at the last minute, and I committed towards Season 6, and then I made the decision not to move up to 2K20.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I'll do a 7th season and call it quits, because there's only so much I can do. But of course, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging on that kind of cliffhanger with the baby faces, wrapping it all like nicely up into a bow. Or even though WrestleMania didn't fully deliver on the hype that we put into the matches after the whole story arc of season 7, but I wanted to at least share some narratives or come out with some more custom ideas or creations that we could have and enjoy. And you can look back on it and say, oh man, I wish he did that. Makes me kind of wish I'm doing it, but at the same time, it's like, a big part of me feels like I'm missing it. On the other hand, I was like insanely enjoying Project Kronos, and then I ran into like a bunch of problems for making episode 5. I have all the footage, but it's sitting around and getting people to do the rest of the editing audio with me. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, but missing it at the same time, which sucks. But I hope that answers the question. Oh my gosh, there's a question and a half. Here's a question: why'd you turn Blake's heel so late?
Why did you?
So, it was a mixture of things. I didn't want to turn him for the longest time because I didn't feel like he was like heelish material yet, or I don't know what my full-on reasoning was, but I wasn't like 100% confident with making him a heel and how I was going to write him. And then we were doing the Kyle O'Reilly story, and I was talking with the guy who makes him, or made Blake Daniels. Holy cow. Somebody just dashboarded.
I tried to take my mic off.
That's what was happening? It sounded like you were dashboarding out of here.
Oh, I took my mic off and sneezed.
Alex has dipped out of the chat. Heck no.
Anyway.
But, I was talking to him about it, and he threw out the idea. I can't remember who threw out the idea, but essentially we both kind of came to the conclusion that it would be fun to do a quick heel turn, make him the big bad villain, and set him up for season 8 as a villain, with Kevin Owens pairing. So it was kind of a last minute decision, but I'm kind of glad because it actually was quite entertaining, and it added another layer to Kyle O'Reilly's story. It gave Blake and Owens something to do. It just made season 7 look even more like there was a system, like a crap ton of people were doing something, which to me was really fun. I think Alex and I wanted to boo him. You should have. I don't know why you didn't. I mean, the man's basically gone now. Heck, he's even changed his name to a questionable name that we won't discuss on stream, but we're assuming that he's gone, even though he came back a couple weeks ago and was like, I promise I'll still be here. No, you won't. We all know you're gone. I'm not surprised. Mister, my passion for wrestling died, but I'll still watch your videos. But your wrestling passion died, but I'll still watch your videos. No, that's contradiction, buddy. It's hard to say. It's one or the other. You either care enough about wrestling to watch my wrestling stuff, or you don't. And if you don't, I'm not going to hate you for it. I'm just ribbing you if you're watching this. I rib people for fun.
You don't
Newsflash, people. It's my hobby. But, to go back to us asking the questions, screw Panda and his questions. You specifically.
Me.
You. Yeah. What was your favorite food to eat while watching my streams?
Pop-Tarts.
Say Pop-Tarts.
Definitely Pop Tarts.
Toasted.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. This video is sponsored by Pop Tarts. Whatever their
Imagine. I
tagline
wish.
is, who knows? Because I don't really see them doing crazy good. Is that it?
Uh,
Is it crazy good? I can't remember.
I
Pop Tarts. This video is sponsored by Pop Tarts. Yeah. Thank you, season 5, 4, something like that.
it's one of them.
Who was your
Crazy
if you
good.
if we're not
That's the
counting
fun.
yourself, which character, and mine because mine's the
Yeah, it's
placeholder, the
awesome.
footholder. What was your favorite character to fight and or watch?
Hmm.
So who's your favorite guy to clash in the ring with you and like just in general to watch?
Hmm. Now, there's two people, and incidentally,
You know, I can
actually,
already tell you're smiling because you're like, incidentally, like,
wow, wow.
I have
I mean, I am
two names.
smiling, but still.
You got so much power in your hands. You're like, I got an open mic. I could say anything.
You're welcome, Panda. Oh, yeah, there's a couple. Panda actually just said a good one. Angle is a one. Might be Angle. But
Might
at the
be
same
ankle.
time, Blake was a good one. Even though we didn't have too many matches, the passing the torch match I think was really good. And
Which
then
match?
Class Par, passing the torch.
Oh yeah,
When
yeah, yeah. The one
yeah,
where he kept kicking out of all your stuff, and it wasn't a 5-star
yeah,
match, but the story overall made it like a 4. Yeah,
yeah.
I remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I
And
thought this match was pretty better than the Jamie fight, where Jamie hit him with like 7 finishers. But let's
yeah.
not talk about that. So that match was
uh, I think boy you can class Par up there, but yeah, probably have to be Angle like Panda
yeah,
said.
he made you.
He did.
What's a shame is you only fought him twice in NXT that season, and then you never fought him again.
And then I fought with him for like one match.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then you never wrestled him 1-on-1. Although I think that was mostly because of me. I had the philosophy of like lightning struck twice. I don't know if it can strike a third time because we were going up to
Mm.
the next game. So I was
Yeah.
really nervous that the move set would be different, and I didn't want to put you guys in the ring and potentially damage the trilogy. Which, to be honest, I really should have just taken the leap of faith and done it again, because why not? But at the same time, I guess I was just too apprehensive,
Yeah,
or
it's
I didn't want to
understandable.
taint the memory that it created in the early seasons and bring it up again only for it to like detract. Kind of like how I did it with Undertaker. Like Undertaker and I had a decent trilogy of fights after my first reign, and then we do a fight in season 7, and oh boy, that was Undertaker's pretty old. That's all I'm saying. Wow, his age really was a factor in that fight. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah. Yeah. So Blake, Kurt, and Class Par. Yeah. The
Yeah.
three guys that made you.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
All right, your turn to ask a question. Because I know you got
My
more.
turn. So
Watch was like,
we're
no,
gonna
that's it. Yeah. All right,
we're gonna
ladies and
back
gentlemen, that'll be all.
we're gonna backtrack to not the question you asked, but Panda's question. And now I'm gonna flip it on you.
Ooh.
Except we're not talking about Blake Daniels anymore. Well, I mean, unless that's your answer. But who was your favorite person to turn heel? Or like, what heel turn did you enjoy the most?
Like, mm.
Like the moment in the moment when it happened, like you were like, "This is gold," or when you were writing it, you were like, "This is wonderful," something like that.
Dang. Like, just somebody was face and then turned heel.
Yeah. So like,
Uh, I would say, oh man, there's several that come to mind because you have Champa turning heel on Gargano. If we exclude the chaos that happened at that Rumble, like the chaos, like where I almost broke every character. Like I ran a thin line where I was so close to just damaging everybody. Myself, Mr. Samuel, Gargano, Ciampa. Oh, it was bad. That was a fun heel turn to do, where I turned Ciampa on Gargano, because I was kind of building it. I wish I executed that better, because holy cow, that was a gamble. That was a serious gamble. Dang. What's another good one? Even if that was a good one. Man, how many heel turns have I really done that are crazy good? Because mostly people just start out like as villains or as good guys, and I don't really flip them too many times. That's I think that's fair to say. Like I don't flip it that many times.
Yeah, you don't.
But I would say Pandas was really good. He's
Yeah.
flip flopped a lot, but I think my favorite one was season 7. When you didn't know who attacked you, you're out for a bit, and then it's revealed that it was Claspar, and then you kind of go into his motivations and his desires and why he did what he did. That was more explained, but it was one of those things where he became a heel, and I really enjoyed that heel turn because he was a heel not for the sake of being a heel, but he felt like it's what he had to do in the moment as a character. I think that was the really fun one for me. In terms of legendary heel turns, I can't think of too many because there were guys who were always riding the line, like Scott Cole. Like it's hard to say he was face or heel because it's like I don't know. Maybe. I didn't want to count Blake because that was more of like an impromptu one. If we were gonna say face turns, I probably would have said Kyle. That was so much fun to do. Kyle's story. I did not expect so much fan support. Elias's face turn, in the chamber.
Yeah,
He was kind of already a face. He was one of those over guys who wasn't really being a heel. Let me have it. All right. Did I answer the question? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you answered it.
Okay. Video game age. I am 45. I'm kidding. Matt King is not that old. Kevin Draco, though, his age in the game, I believe I had you at 27? At the end of season 7? I think so. And then I had Arlington, I think, at 28. Yuri, I think I had at 40, 41 at the time. I can't remember. I wrote out the ages. Or at least some of them. But yeah, I had you and Arlington really young. I think Ryan's like 23, Ryan Trapp.
Yeah, a lot of young guys.
Well, some of them are really old.
Well, some of them, but like, we don't care for those guys.
I think Harvey mentioned that like Harvey was like 40 something. I'm like, what?
What?
In his own like league or whatever, and I'm like, what? Like, bro, no. He cannot be that old.
Max Webb was like late 30s, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's in his late 30s. I think he's like 38 now. 30, 37, 36, in that range.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, too bad nobody wanted him as world champion, so.
Yo, I loved Max Webb.
No, man, the gimmick was overused because he was wearing the Spider-Man outfit every pay-per-view, man. There's no way he could be over. He's not world champion material. Class is like 78, let's be honest.
Yeah, he's older than...
He's older than Ric Flair is now. Wait, is Rick 78? I feel like Rick's probably like 82.
Rick is like... Is Rick now? How old?
Clacking the keyboard.
71.
71? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
he's young. You're like this.
He's young.
I could do that too.
Oh. I said it first, Panda. Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. That's my one and only creepy impression.
Yeah, never do that again.
Unless I want to. You're fired.
Well,
You'll never see this sweet, buttery imitation coming.
No, me, Panda. No, I said it first, Panda.
Rick is 71. Nah, nah, nah. We all know Alex won.
Good.
No, me. Champ, I thought was face during that. Wow. I never really turned. I kind of just transitioned. Wow, wow. What a PC way of saying it. I didn't turn. I just transitioned. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You mean it was more of a gradual turn, Panda, except for the
It
part
was
where
just
you
so.
donned a mask and decided to jump people for
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, that was a weird time. That faction could have been good, Alex, Ross, and him, but it was more of like an introduction back for them. All right, you got another question? Because I hit you with
Uh,
two.
yeah. All right. Let's. Might as well
Turns
just
out he
keep
has like
going.
45 questions.
So,
The list of Jericho. I've got 1,001 different holes. Like, alrighty then.
so what was your? You're talking about how you didn't really turn people too much, which yeah, you really didn't. But what was your favorite uh heel slash face moment? Like when the heel did something really dastardly that you thought was like the best, or the face got the big up and coming moment that you thought was the best. I don't know, something like that.
Oh wow, that's a pretty good one. There's quite a few of those actually. Where I just loved the amount of times I crushed everybody's hopes and dreams at times. The amount of times that I tried to troll people, like the cash-ins were always fun when a heel did it and
Yeah,
everyone's like, yeah. Everyone was whining and crying.
Panda
Um,
Cash in.
the Scott cash-in was really fun because people were actually like, no. It's like,
Uh,
eh. The one with Blake was pretty fun because I teased it and he was like, "No, please don't, please, I beg you." It felt so powerful. I'm like, "Yes, yes, I will." And then I waited because I wanted to give him a fun, happy moment at WrestleMania. He'll still whine, or he was still whining. And, I shouldn't say whining and crying. I'm bad mouthing you. I'm sorry, man. Uh, he was still a little salty. We'll go with the decade old term. Uh, yeah, he was kind of upset about that one, losing off the show. But as far as heel moments,
yeah.
I think because Cole wasn't really heel when he won that world title. Dang, Harvey beating Mr. Samuel probably was my
Ooh.
favorite heel moment, just because it was like so deflating at the time. I What's a shame is that video, like the comments were wiped because YouTube used to do that. They wiped the old live streams after a certain amount
Um,
of time, and then they stopped doing that. So I think the live feed is gone. But I just remember everybody being so crushed when Mr. Samuel was defeated.
yeah, I remember
And then we'll just ignore the fact that Harvey cut a face promo at the end.
that.
That was on him. Trust me when I say that. I had no intention of keeping him or turning him face. He tried to explain it to me. He's like, "Well, people were cheering." I'm like, "Dude, it's a simple tactic. You make a heel, like you do something heelish the next episode or two. Like people can cheer and applaud it, let it settle, and then we drafted up the whole idea to do the whole thing with Ross
Yeah.
Young, screw him over. In hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Can't change it. As far as face moments, oh man, yours comes to mind with Kurt Angle, where you beat Samoa Joe and Ty Dillinger to win both titles.
Yeah.
I think that was a really fun face one. Blake Daniels
That roll.
beating Jamie for the title was really fun.
Yeah. That was good.
Um, thinking. Man, there's like a lot that are racing through my mind. Oh, you beating Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank for the WWE title in season 5.
Ooh.
I really loved that one because it was like
Yeah.
you overcoming the odds again, having that cute little baby face moment where everybody gets to hug you, except there's no girls watching, so they don't really care. Yeah, I would say those ones. I also liked Max Webb. I know that
Oh
he
yeah.
kind of got some heat mixed reactions at the WrestleManias, but his 2 title wins, the IC belt and the Hardcore Championship, I love those fights. Those fights were actually really fun to do, and him winning them at the end, like him beating Jeff Sanders, I think it was Mania 5, as the last 2 guys, that was so much fun to do. That was so much fun. Yeah. Yeah. What was your favorite streak match? Sucks. Like, just exhales.
Oh, what's that?
I was not prepared for the level of just... He's going around with these questions. Oh, I should have better prepared for this. Yeah, you should have. No. Class Bar overcoming Brock. Not even close. You were trash. I'm kidding, Panda.
I think to answer your question, I'm gonna have to go back to what we mentioned earlier. I think Arlington, when he that moment of him almost winning. I think that match as a whole was just great, and that moment sealed it.
So you're saying that was the quintessential streak match? And then Cole just had to fight Armstrong the next. He had to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah,
Road Killer, or it's gonna be Cole Lee. What? Boo! Like that quickly flipped on a dime. Everyone's like, "What?" Boo! Just a long drawn out. No, we reject this fight. I'd say Davis fighting Scott though. As another face moment. Regardless of what people want to say, I actually liked that match. It wasn't like all 5-star and everything, but it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
But so Arlington. Yeah.
I personally, yes.
What was your favorite WrestleMania match?
Oh, it's a lot of them.
There's a lot of favorites. Wow.
And there's a lot of matches.
There's only 56 on the main show.
Yeah, only 56.
Listen, it's not as bad to pick from. It's not as bad of like. I'm not asking you to pick one out of 2,000.
Yeah.
Pick one out of 56, or top 3, or 3 that you really liked. You don't have to rank them or anything.
I'd probably 3 that I really. I'd probably go. Damn.
He doesn't remember any of them. Quickly is clocking on his keyboard.
I'd probably go. I think Harvey Miss Samuel is probably one of them.
That was intense.
That was a great.
It got real Game of Thrones after that. Everyone was like, eyes in the back of their head. He's really purging us this early? Shoot, any of us can go. Like, dang, he's gone? Alright.
Alright, well.
Okay, I guess we're,
He's next.
I guess we're all at his mercy. You're damn right you are. You're damn right.
I'd have to go. I think I'd go. Wait. Matt King Coltley.
Wow, that's really heartwarming. You know what? You get another world title shot just for that.
Yeah.
I said title shot, not title run. You gotta suck up to me a little bit more to get that.
And then
you better put another Matt King match on it. Your whole list should just be Matt King.
Well, guess I don't get that title run.
That's
and
fine.
I'd probably say
Didn't want to give it to you anyways.
I'd probably put what match was it? I think it was.
Oh, that's such a good question.
I think it was. It was Draco, Daniels.
The 6-man
match.
Yeah, the 6-man. Dang,
Tampa.
you straight up just picked the top 3, the 6. Oh wait, no, you didn't. You didn't pick Arlington. That's fine. You basically picked the top two matches of that. The only thing I hated in that match was that you were talking about the same match, right? The 6-man
Yeah.
season 5 match where Class Bar won it
Yes.
shockingly, which had everyone just mind blown. They're like, "What? He won?" Like, yeah, he won.
Yeah.
Suck it.
And that match was great.
Yeah, and then Class
There's
Bar fought
there's
a
a
bunch of
lot of
old
good
guys
matches.
after that. But we won't talk about that.
Out of
Um,
three, I think those would be three that I'd pick.
wow, you straight up picked the top 2 matches season. Season 5's Mania, man.
Yeah.
The match or the show, in my opinion. The build up toward that Mania and the matches, that match card was stacked.
It was.
Oh, but Panda has a question.
Oh, okay.
If you guys could have any song be your themes for your cause, custom,
Ooh.
I can't remember, custom something something. What would it be?
Create a wrestler. Right? Is that what you're talking about?
Create a wrestler? Is that what it's called?
Like call?
Yeah, call.
Creator,
Call.
yeah. Great. Create a wrestler.
Those 3 last
Um,
matches were fantastic because I was in the last one, Armstrong was in the third one, and we weren't really talking about the one in between only because it's like an Oreo. You have the outside, which is the better stuff, and then you have the fluffy stuff that's easily scrapable and easy to get off.
wow. Wow.
Easily to get off your Oreo, you know. You can just scrape it off and not miss a beat. But you have to have, you know,
The cookie.
the edges that compress. You know, it's hard to break. You know, they're hard to top, and just that squishy icing, man, just couldn't hold up to the sheer greatness of the other two. Mainly because I did know that you didn't have the 2 finisher or the double finisher thing on. Well, let's not talk about that. 'Cause I really wanted to. I really wanted to do that
Alright.
spot, and everyone was,
Yeah.
all the wrestlers were like, "I've recovered fully." I'm like, "How?
You tried
Stay
it.
in the corner."
You tried it for so long.
It was like 5 minutes, and then it didn't even have it. I was so mad. Panda's like, "Oh wow." But yeah, song. What's your thinking?
I don't really know. I don't really know what fits.
You don't know what fits.
I don't like. I don't know. Never really thought about it, to be honest.
It's because you've never heard your song. You don't just imagine something when you go to the ring.
Not really. I don't know why.
Really? Are you messing with me?
I'm not.
You just imagine that you're Tommaso Ciampa? Yes. Drink it in. I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what your answer's gonna be. Your song is my voice. Yeah. Cause I'm constantly talking. Hey, figured it out. It's really weird. I don't know why I just said that. Let's ignore that. Rivaling
Anyways,
homosexuality.
What's your song?
I don't hate gays. I swear. Don't worry, they'll come for my soul on the internet. They'll cancel me.
I'll think of one eventually. It might not be today, but eventually.
It might not be today. I'll think of one eventually, and by that point, it doesn't matter. My answer
I'll
would
put it
be.
in the comments. I'll put it in the comments.
My answer would be one of my. I've actually thought of it as mine since 2016, since I did the Matt King thing. Is it still on my phone? I haven't listened in a while, so I'm kind of like. I can't play it because you already know how it is. They're gonna be like, "You can't do that. You're banned." Oh, it's Time of My Life. Time of My Life. Time of My Life by Three Doors Down. To me, that was the song I actually had on PS3. Because at the time you were allowed to import music. That was the only song I had on my PS4 or PS3, and that's became my song, and then I just imagined listening to it every single time I went down the ramp. Never got tired of it. There's a few songs that I wish I put on there at this, like, wish I kind of thought that were mine, but that one was just the original one. It just felt like, I don't know, me. Like, I'm just out there to enjoy the time of my life while I do have it. So
Mm.
I just felt like that was metaphorically my character, the design of him, like just a face. You can't really like just go out there and do the best you can, and just make the most out of your life. So it's kind of my stance on my character.
Yeah.
Three Doors Down is a good band. I also thought of like several Daughtry songs, but I also considered AC/DC because that is the band for me. Like I love them.
Ooh.
There's also
They're pretty
Metallica
good.
had some good songs, but I more so lean toward like Metallica for Samuel Armstrong. Um, those kind of guys, the bigger guys, kind of get the heavy metal rock, whereas the smaller guys kind of went for, or I kind of thought more pop, um, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Daughtry has some good songs. I thought of like several. There's also one like heavy metal. It's crazy. I heard Otis playing it on one of his Instagram videos during his workout. I swear to you, I jog with that almost every time. It's like "We Are the Sound" by Alexis. Alex is on fire, something like that. I can't remember. I can't remember if it's Alexis or I can't remember, but it's really good. There's certainly a lot of yelling. I think there's like a couple cuss words, but so watch at your own discretion.
Yeah.
But it certainly gets your blood pumping. You just want to keep running. But yeah, I would say Three Doors Down. Three Doors Down. Time of My Life is Matt King's song that I've always imagined for myself. Just can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right, time for you to fire away with a question, dude.
All right. All right. My
Yes,
question.
Armstrong was
My
sad but
time.
true. That is correct. Wait, did you ask something or?
No, no, no.
Oh, okay, okay.
But it's
Should
my
have.
turn. My turn. Yeah.
No, you're right.
I
You're
get
right.
to ask the question.
It is in your court.
Now, this one's a weird one. I don't know about this one. Like,
What do you mean?
there were a couple title change designs, throughout the series. Not many,
Mm.
here and there. Were there any title designs that you thought about changing but kept the original, or were all the title designs you wanted to do, you did?
Um. So there was a
Like, did you ever want to change the U.S. title to this, but didn't? Or,
no. Personally, I know that the United States is kind of like hair splitting. Like you'll meet people with different like varying degrees with the U.S. title. Like you either like it or don't. Like it. That's pretty much what I've seen.
Mm.
Like you either just like the design or you just don't. I don't really see many people who are in the middle on it. Um, no, I never wanted to change that. I love that belt,
I
in
did
my
too.
opinion.
I think it's a great one.
As far as the IC belt, I never planned on updating it. When they came out with the new belt, it was like, no. I like the new belt design, but I swear to you, if that was the world title, I probably would have changed that the Universal title to that belt. But because it was the IC, I'm like, no, I can't bring that on
Mhm.
here because people would just think it's the IC title.
Yeah.
Like they'll look right at it. So I said no. I love the IC belt as well. The only reason why the television championship, I really love the television championship belt. I can't remember who made that, but I always downloaded that. I always waited for that guy to make it. So there was two different versions of it. He came out with his first version and then his second one on 3 and 4, or season 3 and 4. I downloaded
Hmm.
that. Can't remember the guy's or woman's name. I would have given them a shout out if I did remember him. But I really love that design, and I only unified the belt, and I had to I created the NXT Intercontinental only to do like a unification thing to make it North American Championship. Like I wanted to have a logic to it,
Yeah,
That was kind of my philosophy, and I just combined like whoever held those either belt into that list. So that's why you get Max Webb on there.
definitely.
But that belt I really loved the design of it. And then when the North American Championship came out, I was like, oh, that might be my favorite belt.
It's a great belt. I really like it.
So I stuck. So I wanted to transition to that one, and then the Universal one. I went through a lot of different variations. I wasn't happy with the undisputed belt, the original one, the one I started with. I wish I just started with the World Heavyweight when I think about
Hmm.
it. Just because it's the big gold belt, it looked good. I wish I just did that one at the start. Instead, I ditched the undisputed after the first season, went for like a custom, almost exact copy of the WWE Championship. Wish I didn't do that. I wish I just did the world heavyweight for the first two seasons. Then there was the Universal one, the big red belt, from 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think that's
Hmm.
how far it got without a change.
I
It
think
went for a
so.
really long time. So I think I don't think I touched it for that whole stretch. But anyways, when season 7 came out, when Davis won the belt, I kind of was just because it main evented WrestleMania, or it was main eventing. I was already kind of considering like I probably should have changed the belt then at WrestleMania, but I started looking into community creations, looking for the design, and I came across that like I looked on YouTube and somebody recommended this guy who was making only championship belts. He had variations of the world heavyweight, tag titles, and the only one in my opinion that looked really really good to me was the Universal. I I'm not trying to badmouth the guy. He put a lot of work into those belts, and for me it was like hit or miss. Like some of them
Yeah.
I was like, and they weren't bad. Like
Yeah.
these suck. It was like, but I looked at the Universal. I was like, wow, that is the best I've seen so far. So I grabbed it and I used it, and truly, I'm doing it here. I guess I don't. Another guy I don't know his name, but I know it's a guy at least. Thank you so much for taking the time to make that belt. I really love it, and I'm glad to have used it in my series. And awesome creation. Looked amazing. But yeah, that was actually a really good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Armstrong was sad but true. Why'd you pick the sharpshooter and GTS as finishers and the Tiger Driver as a finisher?
Ooh.
Ooh, so you want to answer first or me?
You can start. You can start.
Okay, so um, I think my original four, so basically the two finishers and the two SIGs. The SIGs have always remained the same. I don't think I ever touched those. It was the DDT. I just changed it up to call it the vintage DDT, only because I didn't. I kind of relied upon a crutch on commentary. So if I didn't know the exact name of a move, I would just say like takedown or DDT or
Hmm.
suplex. Like if I couldn't remember the name off the top of my head, I would just say whatever crutch I could use. Like at least I'm in the ballpark. Like you guys know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. But I called it the vintage DDT because it's Jake the Snakes, and I wanted to give a tribute to him by doing that. I could have gone for the elevated DDT, but it just felt so natural. The Trouble in Paradise, calling it the recruitment station, was fun. I think I originally had the Caribbean kick in 2K16,
Uh,
but it glitched. So I switched to the Trouble in Paradise and really liked it. And then everybody took it in season 3. Everyone had to have it. That and the Code Breaker. That was kind of annoying.
yeah.
And then Harvey took it in season 7, which bugged the crap out of me. But not enough for me to be like, hey, get off that move. Because I don't really care that much, but it was one of those things where I'm like,
Yeah.
another hope for Hyde. Like dude, you have all these moves that were actually really cool, and you took mine. Like I'm fine with it being catch. Like I don't have a problem if you have it as your catch, but you, you picked it as your sig. All right,
Yeah.
you do you, man. Then the last shot, oh yeah, the last shot was like everybody's. Although I think now it's
Um,
only like Jamie and Adam Cole. I dumbed it back to make sure that only Jamie, because I loved Jamie having it. I can't remember what I called it. It was
uh,
it was like a basic
I
thing.
don't
It was
remember.
gosh dang it, can't remember. It was like, oh, the drive-by kick.
Drive by, yeah.
Yeah, I just called it the drive-by kick because it just looked like he bounced off the ropes and just ran at him. So I just
Yeah.
called it the drive-by. Um, like I liked that name for it, and I just stuck with Adam Cole and him because I liked it on both of them. But oh,
Makes
sorry, I
sense.
got off track. But I also had the I'm giving you time to think as well. That was the other
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
why I'm rambling for so long. I had the Whippersnapper Stunner as my backup for the longest time, and I didn't like it. I wanted a signature, or I wanted a submission finisher, and I loved HBK and Bret Hart's sharpshooters.
Mm,
So I really looked at the sharpshooter, and I found the one where he, sweeps the legs because I didn't like the one on the ground because you had to get the guy on the ground first.
yeah.
So for me, like that's still a nice setup if you have a signature for that. But I was like, it's better as a finisher out of nowhere kind of deal, quote unquote, where I'm on the move and I just sweep the leg all of a sudden. It's like, whoa, what the heck just happened? But I really love the sharpshooter for that reason. It was kind of a move out of nowhere. The GTS, funny enough, that is the move that has never changed off of me. So at the time, Punk had left 2 years beforehand, and I love CM Punk's character. He's one of the reasons why I started watching wrestling.
Mm,
One of the first segments I ever watched was him interrupting the Undertaker's tribute to Paul Bearer, which
mm,
I had no idea if that was real or fake or not at the time because I was a mark. But I
yeah.
was like, oh what? Somebody died, and this guy's so disrespectful, but it's so cool at the same time. Oh my gosh, these guys are like storyline's so engaging. I shouldn't say storyline because I was like, what is happening? This is so interesting.
Yeah.
But
Um,
the GTS hooked me, and when he left, I really wanted to be a guy who pays tribute to the GTS. So I used it for all time, and I have no regrets about using it because
mhm.
I considered switching to the super kick because that had always gravitated to me, but I was like, no. At that point, I was using the GTS for so long that I just felt like it became part of Matt King's character to use it,
Yeah.
so to speak. Like if I changed it, it'd feel way too weird. But that's why I never changed the signatures of the or that finisher because I had them since basically the very beginning. So it just felt like that would have been way too weird to do it. And I loved the GTS.
Makes sense.
Now on to you. Why'd you do the Tiger Bomb? And why'd you do the weird, stupid boot to the face thing?
Okay. Well, damn, to like disrespect.
But didn't Blake also do the drive-by? I think he did.
He did a different move. He kicked you in the leg, and then he like stepped onto your leg and kicked you in the face.
I loved the Omega driver on him.
Yeah, that was great
Loved it.
finisher.
Oh yeah, the drive-by drop kick. That's
Mm-hmm.
what he's thinking
That's
of.
what it
Yeah, yeah.
was.
He still has that, I think. And I loved how he considered
Yeah.
taking off the 450 splash, and I was like, absolutely not. No. I love that way too much on him as like the mega finisher.
Yeah.
And he pretty much put people away with that whenever he hit it. There were a
I
couple
think
times where I kicked out of that thing, but whenever he hit that on the rare occasion, I would also counter it too. And to me, before anybody started doubting it, like, is it really a super finisher? I'd eat the pin on it.
oh
Yeah, it wasn't as OP as that spike on the turnbuckles that Cole Lee did.
yeah, that was
That was awesome. That was the most protected finisher in Universe mode, without a doubt.
broke my neck.
I mean, you kind of deserved it
Oh,
every
damn.
time. I'm so glad Smojo did that to you.
And this all started from one 2K17 glitch.
I was just walking, and then all of a sudden, he threw me onto a table, and the table didn't break, and my neck just bent backwards.
Broke.
Straight up looked like he got killed.
I don't know how he didn't die.
That was the greatest glitch I've ever seen. Just your head bent so badly, and
Oh,
the table never broke. I was like, what just happened? That was great. We ran with that. And then you became an injury prone, glass necked man. Yeah. Babyface. Babyface. So, why'd you do the Tiger Bomb?
all right, Tiger Bomb. I believe I got into wrestling at like WrestleMania 30. So like
Wow, good for you.
17. I'm just saying, just say like 2K17 now.
Oh,
I had a little bit of time, but like I wasn't into creating wrestlers until like 16, 17.
that was
So I was still
apparent because
kind
you had the two colored pants, the black and white.
of yeah,
You're fine. I helped you, and I
you
made some
did,
legendary attires for you.
you did. I'm a lot better now. A lot better now. I can say that. But in the beginning, I was helpless. But I was just looking through all the moves, and like the Tiger Bomb, it just looked pretty devastating. I was like, he hooks the legs, nice quick animation. I was like, that looks pretty cool. And like, I made Kevin Draco before I gave him to you. I was doing that for a universe mode thing.
Mhm.
So then when I saw you, I was like, all right, just use him. I already gave him that move. I did the boot to the side of the head was
Did you love Enzo Amore?
no
Oh,
Xavier Woods' finisher,
oh, is it
and
really?
yeah, Enzo Moore does a like a quick version, whereas that one's Xavier Woods's.
Oh,
And
wow.
I really like the New Day. I had like their shirts and everything, and I just thought that was a cool move, so I put
That's
it
something you and
on.
Panda have in common. You both have New Day shirts.
Yeah,
I
I
was the
was
cool
like,
guy that only bought the tough gear like Bullet Club.
I
But Bullet Club AJ Styles merch.
didn't even know who AJ Styles was back then.
Wow, you're sadistically evil.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
I
was
only
like,
knew about him in 2014, 2015 because of Bullet Club.
I only knew him when he entered the Royal Rumble, and then I had no clue who he
You're
was
like,
until.
what? I have to Google this, bro. That's when I started like clicking on New Japan because Balor and Kevin Owens went to Japan. And I was like, what's the significance of Balor being in Japan? Bullet Club. I was like, that's weird. Who the heck are these guys? AJ Styles. I'm like, ooh,
I
interesting. So I was hooked. And then he turned, and then
yeah.
Kenny Omega turned on him. I was like, wow. And then that started my gradual hate for the Bullet Club. But oh, he said, Panda said Samoa Joe killed you with that Japanese table.
He really did. Murdered me.
Still better than my snake gear. Oh yeah, for sure. Your snake gear was terrible, terrible.
My gear was pretty trash.
Yeah, but then it got better.
I had
Also
like an
loved
NXT one.
getting the bleach out of your hair.
Yeah, I don't know what I was. I'm be real. I don't know what I
Not
was
gonna lie
doing.
though, like the bleached hair just became part of you, and now at this point, it's like I just can't see you with it again. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I just can't see you having it
bright
anymore.
yellow.
I mean, when you think about it, it's kind of like uncooked noodles. Just
Yeah,
you just open up the box of like the uncooked like spaghetti noodles. You just grab the like the whole bundle and just held it up to your head, and that's Kevin Draco's hair.
basically.
Oh yeah, Panda, yours was not great. Well, I think it started like I started in liking it when I put the knee pads on it around season 4. But season 5 was when I really strived. That's when you didn't give me your character right away, and then I gave you the tux and the mask, and then I just like, and then you gave me the new updated attire, and I just dialed it up. You can't see me without bleached hair. No, the only bleached hair that you had, Panda, was your eyebrows. Unless, of course, you bleached everything else, and your eyebrows were the only thing left. However the song goes, who knows?
I get a little hair. It's
Illuminati
crazy.
confirmed. That's when I got the hat. Yeah, that's when you went over the top. And now you just rock the tux really well. I love that mask, though. I don't know why you hated it. I don't think he did, but I'm just putting words in his mouth, I swear.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just really want to put words in your mouth, Panda. He hated all the gimmicks. He thought Kevin Draco should have been a jobber.
Dad.
You can't stop me, Panda. I'm letting out all the secrets. He thought.
Well, damn.
Oh, it's about to go off and just start lying, but I'm messing with you. Well, wow, the secret's out. He really did believe that.
Damn. Damn. I felt disrespected.
All right, what's the question you got?
Hmm.
He hit the end of his question.
No, you must. Kevin Draco for Hunter Woods.
What was that about Hunter Woods?
Well, Panda said no, you mistook Kevin Draco for Hunter Woods.
Oh.
Hunter Woods was
true.
a good character. I liked him.
Ooh, he was better than Class Par. Oh, should have made him world champion. That's a man that I should have given him 6 world title reigns to. I'm actually kind of depressed that everybody rejected the fact that Colt Lee was going to win a 6th world title reign. Everyone was like, yeah, absolutely not. He should never win. Never. Like, wow.
Hunter Woods was.
If I knew he was going to get that much heel heat, I should have just kept the belts on Andrade the whole way, and then just had Cole just squash him in 10 seconds. And then I beat him. Haha. Well, to be fair, Andrade wasn't supposed to lose the belt, but that's besides the point. At least Adrian, but... Alright, what's the next question that you got out of your long list?
Yeah. Next question.
Yeah.
What was your favorite attire for... Alright, we'll do 2 parts. Favorite attire for Matt King and for everybody. Oh, out of everybody else.
Crap. If you haven't noticed, my attires didn't really evolve and change that much.
True.
But, I think my favorite attire was... I had 2 for Matt King. There was the gold one. So I think that was season 5. I wore gold tights. Like the primary color was gold, and then it was like red as the trim.
Mm-hmm.
Red and black. And then I can't remember which Mania it was after that, but I flipped the colors, and it was like red was the primary and gold was the trim. I really love those 2 combinations. The red and gold, I really, really liked. That was... I think that was Season 5 and Season 6, back to back, when I did those 2 colors. But or those 2 color palettes. I really love those. I love the classic black, white, and red one. Not the one I started with, but more like Season 4 kind of era when I started wearing the giant pad. And what's weird is I didn't really like the giant pad at first, but the more I wore it, the more it just grew on me. And I just stuck with it. It's over excessive, but I really wanted to find something that could call attention to my leg. And it just got to the point where I just wasn't even fazed by it being there.
Yeah.
I just actually, it just became like, yeah, there's a giant brace, and people were like, why do you have such a giant brace? I'm like, because I wanted to call attention to it. I didn't want to wear some dumb, or I shouldn't say dumb, but I didn't want to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin with that knee brace. I wanted something kind of bulky, and that's kind of why I went with that one. But I love the classic look. I love the Mania tires that you and I had, the white and black ones.
Yeah.
For Season 7. Those were pretty fun. But my favorite one, outside of myself, I don't know. I liked a lot of Class Pars attires that I made. I love the stuff he gave me. Um, there were a lot of clean looks. Like I really liked Ryan Trapp's attires. If we're not even counting the new guys, because I showed you too the photos
Hmm.
of the new guys I came up with for season 8. Those guys' attires I really like. Um, there's also the Arlington one, the season 7 Arlington attire. Their WrestleMania one, the white one with the skull mask.
That was a great one,
That one I dug so much. I went all out on that one. But the one I think that was just so epic, and then oh wait no, there's two others. So there was also Yuri's with the towel on his head,
yeah. Hmm.
and then they dorked me over, and I had to move him to the ninja mask.
Oh yeah, because I couldn't do it anymore. I remember
Yeah,
that.
because you can't put the towel over the Cody Rhodes jacket, which I thought was such crap.
You were
Because
pissed.
I couldn't put the towel on or the mask underneath it like the old one, so I had to completely change up his look, and I gave him the ninja mask, and it just didn't feel like him as much because he wrestled without the mask beforehand, and it just like the entrance was more of the threatening look to him. But I'm glad that I got that with his US run because that looks so cool, the visuals
Mhm.
with the towel and the US belt on him and everything. But the one that I really, really loved was the intimidating one, Samuel Armstrong, with the I think WrestleMania season 4 or where he had the Kane Iron Mask, the jacket
Mm,
on, just the names etched into it, the red glowing lines all
yeah.
over it. They toured me over with that one too because they said that you couldn't wear it with that jacket or whatever, some crap like that. I was so upset that they just dorked me over in 2K19. But oh, dude, that was so scary to me. Like the glowing red eyes in the darkness. I really love that attire. It just screams like scary to me.
Yeah. It was a great time.
Yeah, that was the fun era. Yeah, that was the fun era. All right. Which pay per view were you most excited for aside from WrestleMania to watch in universe
Oh,
mode?
I got all. Like, are we talking about
Oh, are you specific? No,
just
I just mean
a pay-per-view
a
or like,
show in the calendar. So not like
yeah, okay.
I was excited for season 4, episode 22. That's SummerSlam.
Yeah, okay,
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
like just SummerSlam in general.
Um,
Which one was like consistently the one that always hooked you, or got you to want to watch?
I feel like
Aside from WrestleMania, because that's some bullcrap. With that one.
WrestleMania, obviously, an easy answer. I feel like what I'm gonna say is kind of another easy answer, but the Royal Rumble was always a great pay-per-view to watch. Fun. There's always
Except for the
usually a
first
lot of,
two, because I didn't control it,
I
or the third
felt
one
like,
because
was I there? I think I saw.
you weren't there for the first one.
I know I wasn't there for the first one. Did I see the second one in live? I don't remember if I watched that one.
Yeah, because you were already there at the time. Kurt Angle won it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that. Okay. I was
Yeah,
there. I was
I was
there.
sitting
I
on a
think.
bus ride going home from school, and Kurt Angle won, and I screamed so loudly that all the kids on the bus turned around and were like, "What's going on?" Nothing.
Yeah. I'd probably say Royal Rumble. There's always a lot of chat engagement. I think like one time we got to like we broke your record and we got to like a 800, 900
Oh, that's
messages.
right. It was like
Yeah.
800, 900 comments. You guys were racing to break that. That was so good. I don't think that they
Was
registered or
that?
labeled it anymore because they were like overruling, or as I kept going, like the streams, as I was saying, the older streams like lost their files. So I don't remember I still think that's the record though. I think
Oh
we're at
yeah.
like almost
Well, if
900.
you were to it pops up on your screen whenever you get a message, so you could probably look back at the stream and see it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, and
But
Panda
yeah,
said I now automatically give Claspar a ponytail now because of the season 4 WrestleMania look. Completely changed how I make him now. That was me. I was working with Harvey on the attires, and I said that I would make a ponytail for Panda, and he Harvey was like, that doesn't really make much. Like, I'm not really bad mouthing him. This was like his advice to me. He's like, well, it doesn't really make sense that he grew his hair out that fast. I was like, forget it, let's do it. We're giving him a ponytail, and then I was like so nervous that he wasn't gonna like it, and then Panda was like, that looks epic. I was like, whoa. Such a sigh of relief. Yeah, sorry, I cut you off.
I don't know. You're fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Well, I know I'm fine, but are you fine?
I'm fine.
Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So Royal Rumble is your answer.
Yeah, probably.
Who's your favorite Money in the Bank briefcase winner?
That's
Just the gosh dang it. I believe there's only
bottom.
been 10 on the main roster. We'll limit it to the main roster.
Okay. Damn. There's a couple good ones. One that immediately comes to mind, because of bias, is Samoa Joe, because my rivalry with him.
Or he
And how he
cashed in.
kept- Yeah,
He cashed in on
Um,
Panda, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure.
That was season 5, yeah, that's right. And he attacked Blake to get that spot in the Rumble, or that spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then Blake ended up winning the next one, which was even better, I think, if I have that correctly. Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did. I remember
Yeah, that was the ultimate, like, one season later, I brought it full circle and had Blake win.
that.
Yeah, that was long-term booking right then and there. Just saying. I'll take credit for that one. I thought immediately, like, I screwed him over here. I'll just do it. I'll just give him the briefcase next season. Had that in the back of my mind for the longest time, and I was like, all right, I'm actually going to do it. Yeah, it makes sense. Right? That's what helped me write him off for winning the WrestleMania Season 5 match, because I was like, I'm going to have him win the briefcase anyways. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think... Yeah, Rumble was always exciting for me. It was always more like a nervous stress, because that's when it's like everything started dialing up. Like everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it was like that giddy excitement. Like, oh my gosh, like this feels like Christmas. Woohoo! Like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And then I botched a bunch, but let's not talk about that.
I think probably Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank. Yeah.
I think Clash of Champions became like shockingly like interesting almost every season.
True. That's another good one.
It like slowly became more interesting every season, where people were like, every title's being defended. Oh, that's weird. Man's all of a sudden having like these really intricate storylines feeding from SummerSlam right into Clash of Champions. Oh, that's weird. And by the way, how I've been writing the plans for season 8, it's gonna be the exact same thing. Like, you have a bunch of setups, like, or you have, like, some blow-off matches, but at the same time, it leads into, like, I kid you not, Clash of Champions card that I've written out or drafted out just looks like chaos. Like, pure, utter chaos with the amount of multi-man matches. Just because, like, so many people are involved with it. But we're getting off track.
Yeah.
But alright, what other question do you have?
I think we might have asked this last time. Not really sure.
I'm fine.
But one match that you could fix, or like change the outcome, or like just change how Spot went in it. What match would it be?
Well, there's a lot that I would selfishly want to fix for myself. But I think the one that I wanted to change that comes to mind first is Rogue Killer fighting Armstrong. I would have preferred that at WrestleMania Season 6. Not to bash Cole, because it was actually a pretty good match, but I feel like from a writing standpoint, like if I had Armstrong beat Rogue there, Rogue wins the world title, they have a rematch. Rogue gets to win the second fight. So it's 1-1, and then we can have a sequel Mania match down the line or something like that as a blow-off. I would have also like selfishly wanted to fix Cena versus Matt King. Thank you, Panda, for bringing that up. That was so irritating. I fell into the turnbuckle, and that was the end. That was the spot. I got rammed into the turnbuckles, and I lost.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Panda losing at this WrestleMania. I can't remember what he lost to. Can't even remember.
I don't remember.
Oh, that's crazy. There goes my memory. That's what happens when we haven't when I haven't looked back. I don't really look back at the matches. That's part of my problem. So it's hard for me to remember things. Kind of just blurs. I think the quickest match ever was like 20 seconds though.
Really? What match was that?
It was like Apollo Crews versus Seth Rollins.
Damn, what happened?
Good question. I think it was a roll-up.
I'm assuming.
I think it was just a roll-up and he never kicked out. I think it was Seth Rollins as hardcore champion and I just rolled up Apollo Crews and I'd got the 1, 2, 3. I can't remember, but I think Apollo was in it. I could have sworn Apollo was in it. I think it was Rollins and they were on NXT and I just got the 1, 2, 3. I was like, well, that's it. We're on to the next match.
Well, damn.
I know, that was pretty crazy. I almost rolled him up right off the bat. Like, bell rings, I think we grappled a bit, and then all of a sudden, bam, just rolled him up. 1, 2, 3. It's like, wow, alright. And that's the match. Oh, wait, no, it was more like, I think it was a minute, and I think I did a springboard knee. I don't know, but it just makes me think, like, storyline-wise, I feel like I would have had so much fun with it, where it's like, where's that ref? He was trying to mess with me. He fast counted the hell out of me.
Sometimes you just get those crazy moments. The game just doesn't kick out.
Is there an opponent that you wish you saw yourself fight in Universe Mode? Or a matchup? I'll save that question. Is there an opponent you wish Kevin Draco fought in Universe Mode?
Someone I've never fought.
Yeah. Edge.
That'd be a great match, actually.
Hulk Hogan.
No.
Wow. It's because he's racist?
He just wouldn't sell my moves.
No, Sean wouldn't. I have to put him over? Heck no.
I'm trying to hit the Spanish flying Hulk Hogan. Top rope Spanish fly.
You try to pick him up and he's like, you're not allowed to pick me up. 70 years old, you can't pick me up. Man.
Damn, Panda right at my neck. Pun intended.
If he fought Edge, it'd be a broken neck match.
I think, actually, not, yeah. Edge and Draco would have been a great.
That would have been the quintessential match. Neck versus neck match. One must break. They have like a surgeon there checking the neck.
Nope,
like
not broken yet.
Doctor's like white coat and everything.
Check him, doctor. Check him.
We got a chiropractor too. His neck has been shifted over, but like one of his plates has been moved. Tell me where it hurts.
Everywhere.
I can't move. We'll put it back in place. You will feel some discomfort. How did you be able to walk again? A chiropractor. So plot convenience, basically.
That's probably... Yeah. I don't think I ever fought.
You didn't fight Ricochet.
I didn't fight Ricochet.
You didn't fight Adam Cole, I don't think.
Yeah, I did. I think I did. I'm pretty sure he beat me for the title. Or he defended the title against me.
Did he? The WWE?
Yeah, WWE.
Oh, maybe you have that right.
I don't remember if it was...
Yeah, now that I think about it, I probably would have had you guys fight, because that's a money-making match. I feel like I would have you do that. I think
it was a SmackDown. I think it was after the... When did Cole win the belt? I don't remember.
Oh, it was Mania 6.
Yeah, I think it was following Mania 6.
Oh, it was like Extreme Rules or something like that, or the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the Mania 6 match for the title?
Oh, that was like him, Nakamura. That's Nakamura. I'm sorry. That was like that was so bad. I don't know why I just did that. You can't say that. That's offensive. You might be
I
right.
want to go check now.
Um, I can't remember the other guy in the match. Oh, Balor. Was it Balor? There was Nakamura, Balor,
I'll tell you
Cole,
when.
and you. And you lost, like
I flipped
always.
that one.
Did you say
Uh,
nice moron?
I think that's why. I think. Yeah, it was Nakamura, Cole, Cruz, and me.
Was it really Cruz? Oh,
Yeah,
Raymond Cruz. I was about to say,
yeah,
what?
Raymond Cruz.
Apollo Cruz? I built him
Oh
up?
no,
I
no, no,
was
no,
about to
no,
say,
no.
what?
I should specified.
Did you ever
Yeah,
fight
because it came
AJ?
down. I don't think I ever fought it.
Really? Wow.
It
Maybe I
came
did a while
down.
ago. I don't know. SmackDown
Yeah,
had a ton of like high profile matches on just like SmackDown alone.
I
We
think.
put
Yeah,
on
I
like
think
the
I fought him on
craziest matches.
SmackDown
It wouldn't
because I
surprise me
was.
if I did like dream matches from SmackDown on the SmackDown show because it's one of those things where I wanted to do as many as I could with all the pairings and I would just go crazy with it. Like myself
Cause I,
versus AJ. Like, oh my gosh, we'd do dream matches almost every SmackDown show. Some crazy combination like Tyler Bate versus Class Bar or whatever. Like some combination where it's like, holy cow, this might actually be good.
I forgot how crazy this ending was.
Nico Moron is Nakamura's Wrestling Revolution name. Interesting. I am
Yeah, I
well
think
educated now. I have become a sophisticated person because of this
WrestleMania.
enlightening information.
I think it was the start of season 7. I
Huh.
go check that.
The
Cause
more
he beat
you
me.
know.
I walked into Mania as champ, and I lost Adam Cole.
That's right. Yeah, you're trash. I'm coming for your soul. I'm sorry.
You are. It's not fair.
It is fair. It's fair game. Just don't bring up real stuff, personal stuff.
True.
That's like close to the
Alright.
soul.
Oh wait, I got attacked by Jack McKay. James McKay. I don't know
What is
what
your
that.
favorite feud?
I don't remember.
What do you
Favorite
mean you don't
feud.
remember?
Like, there's a lot of them. Well, not that I don't remember, but like,
You don't
I
remember.
had to take one.
How do you not remember?
Yeah, I think we fought in the SmackDown pay-per-view because like I came out on the first SmackDown after he won his match and just got in his face.
That's right. That's
And then I
right.
lost. And then
Yeah,
I
you're
lost.
kind of a failure.
Yeah.
It's shocking that you're in the top 15 world champions of all time. Or top 20. Actually, it's not that much of a shocker. I've gave you some decent reigns.
Okay. Favorite feud. Personally, gotta go Joe. That's a good one
Yeah, it was really bad. It sucked.
though. Well, I
My
had
opinion
good
over
feud
yours.
Aspar.
Oh, got him. Got him. He said it. He said it. Got him, Phantom. That was the best stipulation I've ever put in a match. You know you're
It
having fun
was.
when you're just
Oh
like
yeah.
letting people tinker with someone's name. Oh, I had so much fun with that match. Stipulation being, until he cashes in, he must bear this name. It wasn't
He
even
cashed
for
in
a
on me.
title or his briefcase. It was just,
Yeah.
if I beat you, you have to change your name to whatever I want. You shall trim out the C and the L from your name.
And then he cashed in on me. So like I guess I kind
Fan
of.
is just doing the dot dot dots.
Yeah, Fanny got the laugh. Although we saw what happened, Draco
Oh,
would have won that
oh,
match.
you got the last laugh, so yeah, you're right. Putting over Prince Metallico. It was a pretty good last laugh. I had the last laugh in the end because I got views.
Yeah.
This is very true. I don't think I cracked 100,
Yeah.
but that's besides the point. But
Nailed me in the back of the head with that briefcase. I never got my revenge for that.
ooh. You know, maybe I was gonna get you your revenge this season. Class Part wins the title and you chop him out.
Yeah.
Main event of WrestleMania, hooray! Yeah, it only took you 7 seasons to get there. Ah!
I won at WrestleMania. Yeah.
But have you ever main evented?
Nope.
Dang. I've disrespected you so hard. You
I
know what? If you
wasn't there
keep sucking
season
up to
one.
me, I'll give you the main event of WrestleMania. You have to praise me the rest of this video.
Season 2, I was in the Battle Royale, I think. 3,
The
I don't
more
remember.
you know. Should have been the first? No, it shouldn't have. You were nowhere close to being on the level of Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke deserved that WrestleMania spot. Panda, you would have been jobbed out at that time. Your gimmick was not over at all. Except in that match, people were like, yeah, custom wrestler. And then they're like, yeah, Nakamura won. Yeah, that might be the match I was always excited for. But always so stressed to make sure it was perfect. The Royal Rumble match.
Yeah. Well,
You guys put a lot of stress on me every season. I was like, who's gonna win?
I don't know, Goldberg, everyone was pissed. I wasn't, though.
Oh,
I
when
thought it was...
Davis won?
No, when Goldberg won.
Oh. I feel like it's aged well.
I think so. I thought it was good.
Man, if I knew he'd get so much heat now, shoot, I would have kept him as a heel.
I was fine with it. I was like, hey.
You're pretty much fine with everything. People were dumping on Davis King, and you're like, alright, I'm pretty good with this.
Because I wanted to see where it went.
Elias wins the title, you're like, alright, I'm pretty... Oh, this was awesome! Smojo catches it on Class Bar. Alright, I'm good with this. Smojo breaks your neck and you're out for 40 episodes. Alright, I'm good with this. I'll just be back whenever I return.
I'll just, go back to rehab.
Oof. You went to rehab 3 times, and you finally stayed healthy for several seasons straight. Too bad in season 8 you're going to be injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, except it's the whole season, so. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah. Here's a bench. Sit on it. You're on the sidelines.
I can never get another injury, though. That's the one good thing. I can't break a leg, can't break an arm. I always got to break my neck.
True. Well, your career's gonna end that way,
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. I'll drop you on your neck,
forced
and
to
you have to pull an
retire.
edge. You're like, I finished everything on my terms, and then 10 years later, season 25, you're in rehab. They figured out the NC life equation. That's a Dark Side reference for anybody that reads DC Comics. The anti-life equation.
And bam, I'm
Better
back.
than Thanos' snap, I'm just saying.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna put this out here. Who knew that they could make a snap so terrifying?
I know, right?
Next, we have to make the clap or the high five look scary. With our powers combined, if the two of us ever slap hands with the epic high five, it will be a sound wave that'll split the earth in half.
Jesus.
It's like, really? Oh, crap. Alrighty then, that's pretty scary. Like, who knew the most basic thing? Alright, what's a question for me? Far away.
Nah.
Proceeds to Google us something.
Are you, after you finish season 8, or you're gonna end it there with the What If series?
Undetermined. I don't know. Because I know that my whole schedule and everything is going to get slammed all of a sudden in the coming days.
Mm-hmm.
Like the next couple days. I'll see what I can do. I think the What If series is easier to make, but at the same time, like it's more practical to do a live stream because there's not really any editing.
Yeah.
And trust me, I like the editing part with Project Kronos. Not to, I'm gonna get off track a bit. I already know it. But live streaming is certainly something where people just game, or they just
Mhm.
talk, or they just watch and react. And for me, it's I did the Let's Game series, and that's not really for me. Like, unless I was with people and we're just playing Minecraft or whatever game, like Rocket League. If I'm with a group of people, I think it's way more entertaining. But if it's
Mhm.
me, myself, and I playing for an audience, then I don't feel like that's really watchable because anybody can do that. But for me, if you can tell narratives and try to tell a story with wrestling and stream it like it's an actual wrestling show, I feel like it's more meaningful. Um, and trust me when I say this, the amount of editing that I've done pales in comparison to the amount of hours and hours and hours that other YouTubers poured into their work. And I'm figuring that out now with the Project Chronos series. Like it is a lot
Mhm.
of time and effort, and to even coordinate like filming, to meet with people, to do scenes. It's a lot. It is a lot of work, and I have even more respect for the people who take the time to edit their videos and piece things together. And I've tried to do it with like the XFL bits where I find all those photos and everything, and that's like the most basic level of editing. And it took me hours, hours to do. Only because like I had to figure out the times on when I was talking, I had to film the audio, etc., etc., etc. Um,
Mhm.
like right now, all we're doing is streaming. Like there's no editing to this. It's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward. It's easy to edit. There's nothing to edit here aside from maybe like bleeping out certain things, which I don't think we need to. But it's just us talking. Like you either listen to it or you don't. It's more of like
Mhm.
the thing that you just put on to listen to and hear us talk. It's not really something where you're trying to pump it out. And for me, I actually I have a love hate relationship with the editing because it's a lot of work, but at the same time, I love what I do with it and how it comes out. Um, like the match card stuff, I love doing that,
Oh yeah.
and that's another basic form of editing. You just it's not animation or anything. Those guys have even more respect for me. The people that pour the time into editing or making animations with their stuff, like that's another level. And I know I've gotten way off track, but I wanted to do like the small clips that I was doing in the first episode of the What If series or the second episode. Just the clips of the attacks and stuff. But what I found out was, Share Factory here, this environment, only allows a certain amount of clips, so I had to try to trim it down. Like, I'm trying to limit it to the amount of clips I can, or clips I'm doing. So I'm trying to do it all in like one or two takes. So that means like, I'm still doing the same thing where I'm overlaying it, but I'm doing it live, and I'm not doing as many fancy edits, which is good and bad. It's it just means that you have to rely more on your imagination to picture it, which, ugh. But yeah, that's that's as far as if I did a ninth season, maybe I don't know. Let's just try to get through this one.
Yeah. True.
Least favorite finisher for the customs. What was Hunter Woods' finisher? Can we use that one?
I think that was like claw
Was it a
slam.
running was running powerbomb?
It might have
That man was like Batista, but on steroids. Watch Batista was on steroids.
been.
But then Batista on steroids and crack cocaine, which might have the exact opposite effect, but let's not focus on that.
Yeah. Probably. Least favorite. I don't really know if I have a least
I
favorite
think
finisher.
Codebreaker, only because my deep hatred for it, like I don't know, like I prefer Jericho's like Lion Salt, Lion Tamer, and Walls of Jericho. Codebreaker just sucks. People are gonna be like, "What? How could you say that?" It's not as bad. Trust me, it's better than the Judas effect.
Yeah.
Mister, I spin my elbow back. Now, trust me when I say this, that hurts.
Oh yeah.
Hurts. That move hurts. But as far as just, it's just kind of underwhelming because you're like WWE's more or wrestling's more theatrical, so it's just a back elbow and it's like
Yeah.
that's your finisher. And UFC that can straight up knock somebody out. If you
Oh,
get
for
the
sure.
right angle, holy cow, that's lights out. You're decking somebody
Yeah.
with that. But yeah, Codebreaker. I would have to say the Codebreaker only because it got so overused in like season 3 and 4. I just got so frustrated that everybody had it. Because then I had
Yeah.
to like spend so much time. Because I got so frustrated. They're just giving me these characters that it feels like they just put in the bare minimum effort. We gotta have this like fast moving finisher. Like just make something unique. Don't do like a Codebreaker. Try to find your own finisher. Do your own thing that makes it fun and interesting and exciting. Like the same argument can be applied. Don't worry, the same argument can be applied to the GTS, like all of mine, because they're all like former wrestlers with the company. But for me, it's like there wasn't anybody within the company that was using the GTS aside from Kenta
Yeah.
or Hideo Itami. Whereas like Jericho was there, but then it's all of a sudden like 4 or 5 people have to have the Codebreaker, and I'm like, this isn't like unique. I think it's fine if 1 or 2 people like you have the original guy who has it, and then you have one person who has it as their finisher. But if everybody has it as a finisher, it's a problem because it's the hottest new move that everybody's got to use. I think the RKO kind of got annoying. I loved when Orton did it, but everybody else started to kind of use it, and I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
I loved my version on James Arlington when he did it early on. And not gonna lie, I put it as a basic move for Ryan Trapp, but for me, I'm actually enjoying doing that with him because it's a basic move that can be used out of nowhere, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to reserve it like once or twice in a match, so it doesn't feel overdone, overused, and it just feels like a move to take down an opponent really fast and surprise the audience. But yeah, we need a codebreaker list. I think Jamie's on it. I think Jamie's on like half of those lists. Just saying. Trouble in Paradise, I think he also did, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, what was it? Oh, gosh. I think Braden had the same thing. I think he had the Codebreaker too.
Did he?
I can't remember. He had like a horrible, horrible finisher. I shouldn't say horrible because it's his creation. It was a move I didn't really like, and to me it didn't feel like it fit the character, the big man character. So
Yeah.
I kind of changed his finishers without asking. And let's just say he was really shocked and surprised that I did that to him. Um, and that's on me on how I handled the conversations. I just felt like might as well do it. I'll just say it silently because if he says no, well, he can tell me no after I do it because then he can at least see it in action and see the live reaction so I can have that as evidence for people.
Uh-huh.
That was kind of my thought process, and then it seemed like there was pretty good reactions from it. His spike pile driver, I really loved that I put
Mhm.
on him. The reactions for his finishers was much better, and I thought that was the weakest thing for him coming back, and then I just rolled with it because it was like that's what I needed to fix. Now it's just a character. What was the move? I can't remember. He might have done it in his first match back against Gargano. Like the first couple matches before I changed it. I think I changed it after Gargano. I think I stuck with it at first, but I really did not like it.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Hope that answers your questions, Panda. All right, do you have a question? Do we want to go with like 2 more questions each from each other and then call it?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Um,
Pull out the questions you've really been stocking up then.
uh,
We burned through it quickly.
did.
I'm kidding. It's sarcastic. We don't really burn through the
So,
questions that fast.
I mean, we got through a good amount of questions.
Fair enough.
What
I'll
would
believe
you
you.
say? Um, you know, there was the Mayhem pay-per-view, right?
Yes.
Were there any other pay-per-views that you want to introduce and you just didn't know how to, or is that like, the only one really?
Um. So the big thing about Mayhem was I didn't want to do a gimmicked show. I really wanted to. It started when Hell in a Cell got changed because I didn't like the changes to it. So I did wanted to stop doing Hell in a Cell because of that. I would have kept
Mhm.
Hell in a Cell if it stayed. But at the time of season 6, season 7, I started to get the feeling of just I didn't want to I didn't want too many gimmick pay-per-views. So like there's Money in the Bank, but it's more than just a ladder specific pay-per-view. It's like the
Yeah,
Money in the Bank briefcase. Same thing with a Rumble, and Clash of Champions has its own gimmick in of itself. Like all the titles have to be defended. I felt like that was a fun gimmick to do. So you have to like weave your way to making all the titles on the card. So you can't have any feud matches, like
yeah,
outside of title feud matches, um, based upon the card. I like that kind of gimmick, Survivor Series, but like specifically Hell in a Cell, specifically TLC,
Mhm.
I felt like just wasn't as appealing. So by doing a pay per view show, just felt more natural, and and you could still call it a B pay per view compared to the main ones, but because it's the setup for the Rumble, it just felt like if I was gonna bust out a TLC match, I wanted to feel special and important, not at a specific
Yeah,
show where I'm obligated to do it. I wanted to do it when it felt right, so it felt unique, like the steel cage match with Claspar and Colt. That kind of stuff just felt way more intriguing and interesting because it could happen at any time. And when it doesn't happen, it's special. I kind of relied more on like if I told you the match types on my planning, like I've thrown in a steel cage already in season 8 in the plans, like Baron Corbin versus Elias in a steel cage. Um, I think I have one more of that I've already put down in NXT. I can't remember, but trying to go for when it's appropriate, not for when it's convenient to do.
Mhm.
That's what I'm more
Makes
so leaning
sense.
toward. But yeah, I wanted to come up with a cool name, and I was just looking through stuff. And Mayhem apparently is like an arena on a phone app game for WWE. Apparently,
Oh yeah, I
so
heard that.
that's
I think
that's
it's
where it's
like
based off of.
I forget what game it is. I remember I actually played that. I think surprisingly, I never made that connection.
Really, I was
Yeah.
kind of worried that people would because I researched it and I was like, oh, there you go. It is something. All right.
Oh, was it just?
Okay. Uh, what's a good question? What's a good question? What's a good question? Ah, yes.
My question.
Um, who was? Did I already ask this? Who was your favorite wrestler aside from yourself in the customs?
Oh, uh,
I don't know if I already asked this earlier, but I'll go with it.
I don't think so. You asked similar questions, but not this one exactly.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Favorite wrestler.
I
We
think I
have
asked
custom
maybe
wrestler.
like the favorite one to watch, but
Yeah. Um, you asked favorite one to wrestle. I think. I like watch in a match against yourself.
was there a custom wrestler you hated?
Oh, oh, custom wrestler. I hate
Because you're always like, I'm indifferent on things.
it.
So I'm curious, like, that might be the better question. Is there a custom wrestler you
Um,
hated?
custom wrestler I hated. I don't really know. I don't think there was one that like I particularly hated, where I was like, oh, this guy's terrible.
Mm.
I feel like none that comes to mind. I feel like most of the time I gave everybody, their chance to like get built up. I remember one thing I do remember first was when Braden first got introduced. I wasn't too sure about him,
I'm still
but
not
he
sure
wasn't.
about him.
I thought he became alright. I was like, alright. That's the only one I remember where I was like, that's the one I could think of. There might have been more, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, understandable. All right, your turn. Your last question that you can ask.
My last question. Ever. I can never ask another question after
Unless we
this.
do another video of this and you think of more.
True.
Maybe we'll do a Titan or a Project Cronus one. I don't know.
Ooh.
I have a blooper reel for prologue episode 1 and 2. It's just I'm debating whether or not to bleep or not. Because
Ah.
let's just say there's a lot of profanity. So the debate is should I bleep this stuff or not?
You
But I
could
have the video prepared.
you can either bleep it or you can put a disclaimer at the beginning.
I
Warning.
haven't really. I haven't gotten full approval from all the guys on having it unbleeped or not. So that's why I'm
Ah,
waiting.
true.
One guy's like, go with the unclean version. Don't bleep anything out. And then one of the other guys was like, I only want like these clips in of me. I was like, all right, all right. See, he doesn't want himself overexposed.
Makes sense.
Do what SmackDown and did. It will be my one profanity. Well, if I did, I want to put a disclaimer on it. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I think I have my final
I'm gonna put
question.
like the I'm gonna put like a quote down, basically saying that notice, like all of this, like
Yeah.
all this stuff in here is made out of good jest and fun, jokingly amongst each other. People will still find a way to be offended. You can't say that. Okay. Kiss my rear end. All right. What's your last one that you can ask
Okay.
on this video? Unless we do another one.
So, out of, three brands, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, or SmackDown, whatever,
NXT. Wait, what?
dead. What was your favorite show to play, build storylines on? Uh, just what was your favorite brand personally that you built, like did storylines for? I don't know what I'm trying to. You
Favorite
get what I'm
brand to play on? SmackDown.
trying.
SmackDown without a doubt. That was so much fun. It got better each season, in my opinion, on who was on it. From who was on it to just the different types, and you tried different combinations with people, and it just felt like you were getting a interesting match almost every single SmackDown show, like an interesting matchup in the later
Mm-hmm.
seasons. Like you couldn't go wrong with the matchups. Like, there was always one that got you interested, or at least me, and I'm the guy writing it. So
Yeah, SmackDown was pretty.
season two, was it season two? SmackDown is the goat. No, it's horrible. Season two is just bad. That had Shawn Michaels Edge. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Terrible. It was terrible. I had so many legends on there to fill out the squad. Um, Favorite one to write for? Probably SmackDown again. Only because like the people on it just made it so much more fun. But at the same time, like NXT's a close second. Like I really enjoyed writing
Mm,
for NXT. I didn't have as many good storylines with that one, and Raw just tanked in my level of effort into it for some reason. Although I put some effort into it. I don't know. Like it just didn't. It just paled in comparison to the other two.
yeah.
Like NXT had its lulls, like stale times where you're like, okay, this is kind of dragging. But at other times, it's like, wow, this is really good. So, Raw was just kind of like shrug of the shoulders almost every time. Like there's a certain few guys that made it interesting. I think I really tried in season 7 with the lineups on Raw and SmackDown to make both pretty interesting, but it was like very world title heavy for Raw, which wasn't bad and it wasn't good either. I wish there was also a mid card to help keep it like filled out. And now in season 8, it's more like world title heavy again. But yeah, it is what it is.
I feel that. I feel that.
And then the last one was because it was storylines. Play on.
Rivalry? Nah, it's more storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really you answered all.
Yeah, well, there, yeah, SmackDown.
And SmackDown because Kevin Draco was on it, clearly.
No, that was the reason why I hated it. No, I kept you on it because that was you were just the guy. You just became the guy. SmackDown. I will say it became so much fun to jump over to SmackDown. I loved Raw, being on Raw, but dang man, being on SmackDown was so much more fun with myself. Woo! I enjoyed that. If you could have had one guy have another or their first world title reign, who would it be and why?
Someone has another world title.
Another one or their first? Like a futures guy from NXT or a guy who's already been there on the main roster and you want to see it. And this isn't limited. We can do custom wrestlers and we can do both, like customs and regulars.
Okay. If I had to give, there's a lot of people that I think could do it, but personally, I always like. Personally, like Micah, a guy that I really enjoyed, that kind of wasn't always the most liked. I'd go with Arlington.
There you go.
I think if Arlington had another one, maybe.
It's shocking that he's only had one. I'm shocked he didn't say Road Killer.
True. Like Road Killer, I feel like
he's a man that doesn't need another world title.
Yeah,
he's just too good. He's the record holder of like everything.
I'd probably go.
Well, Panda said 100% DJ.
It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one.
No, DJ's a tough call because he was always 50-50. Like I either had his character or I didn't for the longest time. So he was benched for so long at times because I either didn't have an updated version of him or I didn't have his character, some combination. So it made it tough to write him in and write him out. I don't know. It became complicated after season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ's not a bad one. It depends on how you write it. He's dark character, so it's not the easiest thing to write for him.
Oh, definitely.
But I think that would be a cool guy to give another title reign to.
I agree.
But Arlington at the same time. Arlington is a really good pick. Max Webb.
Yeah, I was going between Webb or Arlington.
And some of the NXT guys stick out to me. I really like Jack McKay's character. Really like Ryan Trapp's character. Next Gen finally got their moment. Mac Allen and Chris Hall I really like. Ace is another good babyface. Yeah, there's some guys that, in terms of the future, I would look at as potential like build toward world champions.
Yeah, I think a lot of them
have the potential. And also Austin Arrogance.
Yeah.
Gotta throw in both.
Panda.
EC3 as well. Oh wait, that's not custom. But Who would you say for non-customs? Who would you
Ooh,
want to have another reign with?
non-custom. I just had one in mind. Who was it?
Elias, Tyler Bate,
Oh. I remember now.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I called it.
I think I think Kyle could definitely. I mean, there's a bunch of other people that like you could build up to it, but I think Kyle is like really close to it. You know, he had this big storyline going to Mania. He could definitely be one that wins it.
Yeah, that's true. I could see him potentially going on to beat maybe like Prince Metallico for it. Like if I kept going, I think season 8 would have been pushing him, Tyler Bate, several
They.
others um, who came to mind. There was also Ricochet, who I wanted to give some credit to or start to build towards something.
Mhm.
Um, Arlington as well. Like there's a lot of guys that I really want to give some dedication to. Apollo Crews, I wanted to build up as a mid card kind of guy because he's insanely talented, and I've been doing him a disservice by not presenting him. Cassius Ohno, Aleister Black, uh, Cesaro. There's a bunch of guys that I could really use and utilize to potentially be world champions again or for the first time. But certainly Tyler Bate, Ricochet, and Elias, I considered doing a second run. Samoa Joe, I considered another run. Um, Drew McIntyre could have another run. There's a
Mhm.
lot of guys now
A
that I'm
lot of
thinking
guys.
about it. Alex Carter could be another custom guy that could have a world title run. You just need to be built up properly for it.
Yeah.
I really love the WrestleMania match with him and Sante, but that's just me. You
I
know,
liked.
well, you're pretty much indifferent on almost everything, so